Hey everyone, so all of the mainstream media and people like Dick Cheney have all been beating the war drums. Boom, 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 boom. Assad used chemical weapons. Assad used chemical weapons. So we know that he did use chemical weapons because the West is never wrong when they accuse people of using chemical weapons. Like, look, we accused Saddam of using chemical weapons. We accused Assad of using chemical weapons in 2014. That's a fucking joke because obviously, Saddam didn't have weapons of mass destruction that we said he did. And last time we accused Assad of using chemical weapons, it turns out it was the rebels that used chemical weapons. So whenever the West is like all unanimously beating the war drum and accusing another country of having WMDs or some shit, you can pretty much guarantee that that's bullshit. Even in 2014, when Assad had the incentive to use chemical weapons, he didn't. And now that he has no incentive to use chemical weapons because he's winning the war and he has Russia on his side now, there's no fucking way, 100% chance, we're wrong, we're lying, he did not use chemical weapons. I'd even say it's possible that it was a false flag and that we had something to do with it. That's not, no evidence for that, but we don't know what happened yet. and right after the aftermath of it on Friday, chemical weapons attack happened on Tuesday. On Friday, our fucking retard-in-chief, Donald Trump, decides to attack the Syrian government at fucking Shayrat Air Base. Okay. So get this, you guys. This is what we did at Shayrat. This is what we did at Shayrat. To uphold international law, to uphold the ban on chemical weapons that's illegal under international law, we decided to break international law and do a war of aggression on Assad. And now Trump would say, oh, but it's not a war. It's just some bombing. That's the funniest thing that people in the United States say. It's not a war. We're just bombing. What the fuck? So if someone bombed us, if China bombed us because, oh, you guys invaded Iraq, so we have to show you that invading Iraq is wrong. So we're gonna bomb a few of your troops, and that's not a war. It's not a war. Please don't freak out. We would be at war if someone bombed us. But we can bomb a government, and that's just punishment. Take it. Those 7 soldiers are dead. Maybe next time you'll think about that before you use chemical weapons, even though we have no evidence you did. Okay, so there's the hilarity that we're doing an aggressive war, which became illegal in the 50s, to do an aggressive war like North Korea did. Aggressive wars are illegal because North Korea did that. We're acting like North Korea to uphold international law. And you can say, like, oh, it's not the same when we do it, and we don't have to follow international law. That's Sam Harris talk right there. That's bullshit. If the law doesn't mean anything if some people don't have to follow it. That's horse shit right there. But another insane hypocrisy of us doing this to stop Assad from using illegal weapons that are illegal under international law. You're using chemical weapons, sarin gas is illegal under international law. And then Assad could fire back. But don't you guys manufacture cluster bombs for the Saudis? So if you guys don't know, cluster bombs are a type of bomb that you drop it and little clusters of smaller bombs break off. And those are illegal under international law because the clusters don't always explode and they remain in the ground and kids step on them all the fucking time. So that's why cluster bombs are illegal. We manufacture those, and Saudi Arabia decimates the Yemeni population with them because they don't want the Houthi rebels to take over the country. And we promise to defend them if they only accept US dollars for their oil. So for oil, we're using illegal cluster bombs in Yemen. But Assad can't break international law because he's Assad. He's just some little tiny third world country. Horse shit. Technically he's second world because he's aligned with Russia. But anyways, we use illegal weapons. We use cluster bombs, which are illegal. Maybe we should be don't topple us, because don't topple the United States for using cluster bombs. Maybe just bomb maybe just bomb a base, just to show us. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, and also we use depleted uranium, which is a chemical weapon. That's a uranium bomb. We call them bunker busters, and they leave behind radioactivity that causes kids to have birth defects. But whatever, those are illegal under international law, but whatever. On to the horrible consequences of this. One consequence of Trump doing this is in 2015, when Russia got involved in Syria, the United States had already been involved there. We'd already been bombing there. We'd already had troops there. So with Russia going there, we decided to set up a comm center in Qatar where we communicate between Russia and the United States planes, and kind of like the FAA, so that the planes don't crash into each other and we don't accidentally bomb each other's troops. So as a result of Trump attacking the Syrian government, as a result of us attacking them aggressively with no cause and no evidence, Russia has stopped participating in this comm center with Qatar. So we're no longer in communication with the Russian fighter jets, and they sent I think it's called a destroyer ship or whatever the fuck. They sent one down there to, quote, protect against further U.S. bombings of Assad. So this is, make no mistake, what Trump did is an escalation towards Cold War. And luckily, Russia didn't say they're going to increase their troop presence there. They declined that they were going to increase their troop presence, but they have already taken action to, quote, protect the Assad regime from further U.S. attacks. Anyone who has any sense of history knows that that's horrible. Horrible. When you get the United States and Russia fighting in proxy wars, you get horrible atrocities like in the Vietnam War, and you get horrible wars like the war in Korea. We don't want to go back to an era of constant proxy wars between the United States and Russia. And that's what Trump pushed us towards by attacking Shayrat. Aggressively, illegally attacks Shayrat. You'll never hear in the West that attack was illegal, because when we do it, it's not illegal, and we mean well, and we're the good guys. But make no mistake, look it up. Look up aggressive war. All you have to do is look up the term aggressive war. It's illegal to do a war of aggression. Basically, everything you're hearing on the news about the chemical weapons and, oh my God, Trump attacking Assad is great. Everything you're hearing on the mainstream media about it is total bullshit. And, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. Oh my God. This, you guys all know how the Democrats have been saying that Trump's a Russian agent, Trump's a Russian agent. And some of the war hawks on the right have also been saying that. So how are they justifying him attacking, brashly and brazenly violating international law to attack a Russian ally? Because that's not something a Russian puppet does, is it? Attacking a Russian ally, breaking international law. So how are they justifying it? Well, here's what they're saying. Well, Trump notified the Russians before he attacked. And they're acting like that's suspect. They're acting like Trump should not have notified the Russians that he was going to attack. So we would have not only killed Syrian troops and Syrian civilians, we would have also killed Russian troops. So according to the mainstream media and people like Peter Dow, Trump's still a Russian agent, even though he attacked Syria. Still a Russian agent because he didn't directly attack Russia. Come on. Come the fuck on. And so it's attitudes like that lead to Trump doing this. Of course, Trump's not smart enough to actually be the president. People around him cause him to make the decisions he makes. He's like a sponge. That's how he is. He reacts to he reacts to the room. He wants to be liked, and he wants to be liked specifically by the establishment bubble. And what does the establishment in Washington want? Assad out of power. And everyone's accusing him of being a Russian agent. Oh my God, all the stories in the news are about him being a Russian agent. And what does he think? I'll show them. I'll show Cenk Uygur, who said that if Russia attacked U.S. troops, then I wouldn't do anything. I'll show him I'll do something when Assad uses chemical weapons. And it's that exact thing that led to this. The war hawks on the left and right. And once again, we're total fucking hypocrites. And I think that's about it. Oh my fucking God. Last week was a disaster. It was horrible. I hope the communication center in Qatar is reestablished. I hope even more, even though this is never going to happen, that we could just get the fuck out of Syria. But it's never going to happen. Never gonna happen. So, peace out, guys.